Ashley, nice job here. I like the orange texture up in the food. I might even just continue to move it around just so you don't have these yellow blocks, because when you just first look at it, it just makes the text a little bit harder to read. So I would just probably continue to try to move that image around behind it. Well, that doesn't look very good, does it? Or even just diminish the part of the orange. You can make the whole thing bigger too, so it just covers it differently. There's just a lot of different ways you can play with that. Let's see here. Something like that even looks a little bit better. So when you have the harsh yellow, even something like with the blue looks kind of cool. And I still have the same suggestions about maybe making the background a little less dark. Just because I still think it stands out pretty well with it just a bit brighter. It looks just a little dark, and with no need be. So that would be this is the same stuff I mentioned in the last feedback. I'd also make the Fred stand out a little bit more, in terms of color. I can't do anything because I don't have the font, but maybe just use a little bit, like a stroke or something, so it doesn't, it just pops off the background a little bit. Let's see here, even what, definitely something kind of light too, like the yellow or an orange or, something like that. You just have to really play around with it to see, let's see. No, that's too strong. Maybe an orange color. Yeah, something like that goes with your orange would really work. And it doesn't have to be this many pixels. I'd probably go down to 6. But you know what I'm saying? What it does is it just makes it a little bit more readable. You can see from here to here. And it also carries the color through. Repetition is a really good way to create unity. And if you repeat color, again, this is repeating here, it's repeating down here. You've got this warm background, and again, then you've got the blue, which is kind of the cool color, repeating in different areas. And this is a really nice red color that you repeated in the text. And again, the kind of maroony red is repeated down here, and that's one reason why it stands out. You could even make, and the red here, you could even make, use the sponge tool and make it even more saturated if you wanted to. There's so many things you can do in Photoshop. Let me find where's that artichoke? Right there. You could go in and you could use the sponge tool. Let's see if I can find it here. I really don't like the way they've changed these menus in this new version. And then you could say at the top here, you could say saturate and just see what it looks like. I'm not saying to use this, but then you can go in and saturate it more. You can see how the color's changing a little bit. There's different other places you could do that to make the brush bigger. I don't know if you want to saturate. This is pretty saturated already. But you can kind of see what I'm saying. It brings the color out a little bit more. So again, we can go back to, in the history here, and we can look at what it looks like before adding that. So we can just step it back out here to here. So anyway, I kind of like this just because it, again, repeats the color. If you have time to make these changes, it's mostly help your portfolio. It's not a huge point deduction, but I think that, you're almost really there with a really solid portfolio piece. Yeah, and I hope I can use your work as examples for future students. Really nice job. Great working with you.